Hi, this is Zizo Colante for Surviving ED, a blog about eating disorder recovery and beyond. Today, in the story above, I talked about how my brother and I used to go into the dark room where my father worked at a photography lab, and how it was pitch black and you couldn't see your hands in front of you, you couldn't see anything in the room, and quite frankly, as little kids, it was pretty scary. So a lot of times in our eating disorder, we feel like we're walking around in darkness. For years and years and years, when I had an eating disorder, I felt that there was no hope of recovery and that I couldn't get better and I couldn't have the recovery that I wanted, which was actually freedom. It wasn't that I wanted to not be able to eat M&Ms or think about being scared about eating a bowl of mac and cheese. I wanted to eat whatever I wanted and to completely be free of these thoughts and these patterns and these behaviors. So in the eating disorder, it's sort of like being in a dark room. We're surrounded with complete darkness and it feels as though it's all consuming. The thing to remember about dark rooms is that in photography, it's done a little bit differently these days, but the old school way used to be that in order to develop the film, you had to have complete darkness in the room because any light exposure would ruin the negatives. It's sort of similar to today. In photography, in order to get the best picture, you had to have complete darkness. And although there's not a reason that we have the eating disorder, as in it was thrust upon us, there are psychological reasons why it develops, but it's never like, oh, you have an eating disorder, good, you can learn things. It's okay to be sad about it. It's okay to fight with it. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to work through every emotion and to be really honest about where you're at with the eating disorder. And also just remember that when you move forward on your recovery, all of the things that you learn in your eating disorder, every little insight that you have in therapy that you have about yourself, every good meal that you eat and keep down, every time that you walk around the block instead of running 7 miles a day, every single thing that you do towards your recovery is like a little sliver of light that opens the door to that dark room. And eventually on the road of your recovery, you're going to develop yourself into the best version of yourself, sort of like developing a photograph. Sometimes it takes wrestling and it takes darkness. And when we emerge in our recovery, you're definitely going to be a lot stronger of a person. You're going to be a lot more compassionate to other people's suffering. There actually are a lot of things that the eating disorder teaches you through struggling. And those are the things to be hopeful for. Not only your freedom, not only your relationships with people, not only being able to eat and enjoy meals and enjoy moving your body in a healthy way, but you will be more compassionate to other people's suffering. You will be able to see what's happening with other people, and it will affect you. So there are wonderful, hopeful things along your journey. So even if you feel like you're walking in darkness, even if you feel like you're backsliding and moving forward, just keep moving forward. It's sort of like walking along the dark room, feeling along the sides of the walls with your hands. Sometimes that's all you can do in a day, and that's okay. And eventually, you're going to find the door of that dark room, and you're going to develop all of these beautiful, wonderful things in yourself, and you're going to emerge from the dark room as this amazing, full person that you've already been, but now you see it, and you know it, and you feel it, and you've brought it into being in a healthy way to move forward in the world. So thank you guys for reading. Thank you guys for listening. If you do have any questions, I'm here. Please send them below. I'd love to address any of your concerns. Have a great week.